Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Shai Bashem Dash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird among the heathen that look like the heathen. And to the Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson. And basically, it was so many responses on a video that I did yesterday about the Israelite foreigners, of people not using any scriptures, given they think and feel. And in my opinion, one guy said, by your logic, Vanilla Ice would be an Israelite because he can dance. And I'm like, no, not by my logic, but by his spirit, by the spirit. Romans 8:16. As a matter of fact, I guess that'll be the first one. Romans 8:16, and almost none of these people that have these emotional, fleshly comments to say, almost none of them use any scriptures at all. But this is Romans 8:16, and it reads, "The Spirit itself bear witness to our spirit that we are the children of God." So it's the spirit of the universe, of the individual, not the outward appearance. You know, I did tell one guy to that he needed to look up. Matter of fact, let me, I think I told him Sirach. If I remember, it was 11 and... Yeah, 11 and 2. And then it reads, Ecclesiasticus of the book of Sirach, "Commend not a man for his beauty, neither abhor a man for his outward appearance." See, you can't go by the outward appearance, because this young lady in the middle of this video right here where the arrow is floating, all right, you would think that that was an Israelite, all right? But that's her father and that's her mother. The opposite of what we talked about yesterday. So that will make this young lady a tear, unless he just happened to be a scattered Israelite, all right? Unless he happened to be one of those. But right here, this guy's trying to break down 5 positive of black mother with white father. Though, why? Because this whole concept of color is a false narrative that was created by them. Because by their own definition, if you have any bit of so-called white blood, which is a made-up social construct, by the way, might I add, then you're no longer white. Well, that's bullshit. If your father is this man, then you could be as dark as this woman above him, all right? But you're still his people. It's as plain as that, and we prove that. So, and that's one thing that the BOIs don't like to acknowledge, that this happened in the millions over the years from the time of slavery until now, and now they do it voluntarily. Millions of white men, so-called white men, the Cajuns of Call, all right, impregnated Negro women and had little light-skinned or sometimes even dark-fleshed children. Let's look at another family. Let's look at this one right here. All right. Now you might mistake her children for being so-called Hispanic or something of that, because they could pass for being Ephraim. They could pass for being Simeon. But nevertheless, these is what the Bible referred to as tares. All right, they'll have Israelite traits, but their spirits are off. And when you meet people like this, their spirits telling them, all right, before they even tell you. Because I tell you, we had an incident where we on the line on Van Buren many years ago. This was about maybe a good 9 years ago. And Mike Oliver was still the head of Chicago camp at the time. And I remember these 3 melanated dark sisters came up All right. They approached the camp, and two of the sisters was all into the lesson. All right. But the one girl folded her arms and just kept backing away and backing away and backing away. And I'm peeping. I'm standing in the back. I wasn't saying anything. I was just observing the whole thing. So I went over and whispered in Mike Allah's ear, and I said, "Hey, man, ask that chick, that friend, what's her father?" All right. So he just, interrupted, stopped the brother that was speaking, was like, and asked her. And the girl told him that her father was Israeli. Now, mind you, this mother with her Edomite children, with her tear babies right here, the sister that we're talking about was about two to three shades darker than her. Now, the other two sisters kind of looked like this sister. They were pretty brown-skinned sisters. And the real chocolate one, her father was an Edomite, an Israeli, Amalekite. On top of that, that's why she was so offended by the gospel. But all these black-only people, they would have accepted her and said, "Hey, she's one of our people." Just because she's melanated. All right? You see how the hypocrisy in that doctrine? Let's get a Zechariah 1 and 6, and it reads, "But my words and my statutes, which I commanded my servants and prophets, did they not take hold of your fathers, and returned and said, like as the Lord of hosts thought to do unto us, according to our ways and according to our doings, so have he dealt with us." So by being wicked and intermixing and mingling, the Lord allowed us to be scattered. And we got scattered among all these people. And now many of our people don't look like our people. So our sons laid seed in these heathens, and their children don't look like us anymore, but their children are still our people. And then our daughters allowed these heathens to lay seed in them. All right? The difference being is that their children are tares. That's the whole parable of the wheat and the tares. If there was no such thing as a speckled bird, as a scattered Israelite, there would be no need for the parable of the wheat and the tares. As a matter of fact, let me go to Revelation, the 7th chapter, because I do believe I mentioned that to one of the scoffers that was, going off that I think and feel really had no scriptures to bring forth. But this is Revelation 7 and 9, and it says, "And after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and all people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands." The same way all these gathered Israelites in Acts, the 2nd chapter, came back to Jerusalem from all those different lands where they were scattered to, looking like those people. All right? And grant you, the majority of the world was really dark back then. The only light people were really Esau, Edom. But you got Esau, Edom was spreading their seed through war, rape, and murder, even back then, and lightened up a lot of people as it is to this day. Okay? Because the whole world was melanated. So it's never been about color. It's always been about seed line. Because if everyone was chocolate like her, then, that would make it. Hey, look, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. All right? So, but how you going to explain that? Because it says, I'm going to read verse 10 of Revelation 7 and 10. "And cry with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our God," personal pronoun, "which sit upon the throne, and unto the Lamb. And the angels stood round about the throne and about the elders and the four beasts, and fell before the throne on their faces and worshiped God, saying, Amen. Blessing and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving and honor and power and might be unto our," personal pronoun again, "God. Blessed be forever and ever. Amen. And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, What are these which are arrayed in white robes, and whence come they? And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest." Why? Because they were looking like these tear babies. They weren't looking like this pretty chocolate brown. All right. They were looking all kind of different with epicantic fold. That's what you call the slanty eyes. Because you got to remember, in it tells you in Isaiah 16:4. I'm gonna get that. All right, but I'm gonna get that. But it says, let me go back to Revelation 14, and 7:14, and it says, and I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest, and he said unto me, these are they which came out of the great tribulation, and have washed their robes and made them white with the blood of the Lamb. So these are all the so it gave you the breakdown of the 12 out of the governing body, 12,000 out of each of the 12 tribes. But then who's this great body, this great sea of people? These are those scattered being brought back. Okay, you got to remember. I just called for Isaiah 16:4. It clearly reads, "Let mine outcast, all right, dwell with thee, O Moab." That's the so-called Chinese. All right. "And thou art covert unto them from the face of the spoiler." So he hid Judah, Negroes, among the Chinese. All right. I did a video maybe a little over a year ago with two little Moabites breakdancing, battling against each other. And you could clearly see that they both were Israelites. And one of them, his whole crew that was with him. All right, you could clearly see the spirit on them. Not because they could just dance, because of the way they dance, because of their spirits. All right, Jake has a spirit and an aura, and that's why the scriptures say we're the salt of the earth. You cannot fake Jake. When you mimic it, it looks fake and phony and robotic. It doesn't come off natural. All right. But it says, let me read it again. "Let mine outcast dwell with thee, O Moab, be thou covert unto them from the face of the spoiler," which was Esau, Edom. "For the extortioner is at its end, the spoiler ceaseth, and the oppressors are consumed out of the land." All right, Esau's been the spoiler since he came on the scene, man. All right, since he came on the scene. Point blank period. Let's see if we can identify some more people who has well, there's Karen Parsons. You all know her from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Her father is an Edomite. Okay? Yeah, her father, it says, growing up with a black mom and a white dad in the 70s. So yeah, so Karen Parsons is a tear. As a matter of fact, let's read about the tares. This is why the Lord spoke about the tares and how it's going to take the angels to separate them. All right? And with discernment, sometimes we can tell, but we can't always tell. Okay, but let's go to that. That's in Matthew the 13th chapter. We'll read that and wrap this up, man. You know, the shut up, you stupid tribe of Dan. Dan meaning dumbass niggas. You Danites out there that always running your mouth. All right, fat mouth. This is Matthew 13. And I'm going to start at verse 25 and read down quite a bit of reading here to 41. And it reads, Matthew 13:25. "But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way." So that will be, Esau, Edom, and the heathen putting their seed into our women. All right. "But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, there appeared to be tares also." And if you're looking at a tare and you're looking at wheat, if you're looking at those plants, they often look alike. Looking at Karen, man, you wouldn't know, all right, that Karen had an Edomite daddy. You might think, okay, she's just a red bone, and that this because some Jakes come out this way, okay. But her spirit, when you think back and you watch the show, her spirit tells on her, like this one here at the top. All right. That young lady, she got that wide, the thick lips, the wide nose, the fro, but that's an Edomite. Okay, she's an Edomite. I mean, it is what it is. Okay, she ain't Karen Parsons there. All right, but it says, verse 27. "So the servant of the household came and said unto him, Sir, dost thou not sow good seed in thy field? From whence have it tares? And he said unto them, An enemy have done this. The servant said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? All right. So the enemy came in and sowed his seed and caused that confusion. All right. That speckled birdness. All right. But he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye also root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together into the harvest, and in the time of harvest I will say to the reapers, Gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. So the tares, so in the end of days, in the end of days, the Lord is going to make a separation between these melanated Edomites and melanated heathens who have Israelite mothers. All right. And then those of our people that look like the heathen, the Lord's going to gather them up. All right. And what's going to happen when the elect, because the elect are all going to be changed in a moment, and they're going to get those new bodies and get their look back. So there's going to be no pale faced Jake in the kingdom with freckles and red hair. It ain't going to happen. That's going to be a thing of the past. All right. But it says, let both grow up to verse 30 again. Let both grow up together into the harvest. All right. And the harvest is the end of the world. All right. The end of days when Yahweh returns. Okay. And it says, let both grow up together into the harvest. And in the time of the harvest, I will say to the reapers, which are the angels, gather ye together first the tares, which are the heathens, that are bound unto our women through marriage and have children with them. All right. And bind them in bundles and burn them. But gather the wheat into my barn, into the chariots, man. We're going to get saved up out of here. All right. And that's simply it. All right. So with that, I hope that this was edifying to those who need to be edifying, and that it was a painful, lesson or harsh rebuke on those who believe not the gospel. All right. So with that, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakak Wadash, Wa Abba Babal Kwam Yasserala Shalom.